Okay, stereotypically in our culture, men have a bad rap. Whether it's true or not, I don't really know, but I can give you what I think are some reasons why men are reluctant to commit in long-term relationships. Now, we live in a transitory culture, and we have to commit to a lot of things in life, but long-term relationships apparently is an area where men have difficulty. We'll commit to careers and jobs and education and student loans and friendships and family, but when it comes to long-term relationships with women, some men we just can't seem to get going. Let's talk about some of the reasons why. Number one, look at the man's past. Is it possible that the track record of his own personal relationships doesn't lend itself to a great level of confidence to move forward in long-term relationships? Is it possible that the long-term relationships of his past hurt him and emotionally he hasn't recovered from some of them? Maybe he's made some mistakes. Can we identify with that? Third of all, in his present moment, does he feel as though he has the wherewithal to be who you need for him to be? Is he just being honest that he lacks the maturity necessary to commit to the long-term relationship that he knows that you want? Maybe he cares about you and he's non-committal on your behalf. Another reason, there's a lot of cultural pressure in the world today, more so on men than women, not saying it's right or wrong, to be the provider, to provide financially, to be a leader in their life. Now this is kind of going by the wayside, but oftentimes men don't like that pressure and that responsibility to fill that role, and oftentimes they don't know that they're totally able, especially in economies that are up and down, and there's economic uncertainty. I'm not saying it's a good reason. I'm saying it's in the mindset of a lot of men today, I can tell you that. Another reason men are seemingly non-committal in long-term relationships. Little boys have been told their whole entire life to suck it up, get on with it, be a man, get over it. Well, what we've done oftentimes, and Hollywood does this as well by stereotyping men, is we've taught men how not to be vulnerable emotionally, how not to even cry or to care. And oftentimes they lack the emotional depth to fill an emotional role. And that needs talking through, and maybe even some counseling to that end. Here's another reason. As a man looks back into his past, perhaps beyond his own personal relationships, he didn't see a relationship, a long-term marriage relationship working out. Maybe he comes from a blended home. Maybe his parents were married multiple times. He's developed a distrust in the institution of marriage or in religion itself or some combination thereof. And it's caused him to distrust his ability to fulfill a vow that his father didn't make or keep, that his mother didn't keep, for whatever reason. It's something to talk about as well, especially when it comes to you. Oftentimes, men are non-committal because of the absence of a father figure in their life. They don't have someone to bounce off these big decisions. They don't have that kind of mentor, coach, or input about serious decisions like long-term commitments. Here's another one, ladies, and you may not like hearing this, but men often use sex, as we talked about in other videos, to solidify significance. If your relationship is sexual in nature, that man probably feels significant. I'm not saying and condoning this behavior, but he has a self-perception of significance. You have provided for him the very thing that should be a goal. Your long-term relationship should be a means to an end of significance in a sexual context for a man. You have inverted it, and now you're wondering why he's not wanting to commit. Well, he feels significant. He doesn't need to feel significant by making a long-term commitment. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's actually immature, but I'm saying you're a part of that decision and that result. Physiologically, there are neurochemicals that we discuss in other videos that prohibit men from making long-term commitments. Take a look at that. If your man is involved in pornography, wake up. Look at the other videos. It's prohibiting him from making an empathetic long-term love decision. And he's seeing you for less than who you actually are, in part because of this influence of pornographic material in his life. And here's the last one, ladies, and you may not like this, and it may not be true, I hope it's not. You may not be the one. You just may not be the one. There are many reasons why men don't commit, and there are others beyond what I've said. Think about it.